Hi Gemini, welcome to your week ahead taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. Welcome to your first weekly taroscope of 2023. So this week your key to the week is the Sun card. Light, heat, blessings and joy, but also an easier week. So remember, your ruling planet Mercury is currently retrograde in the sign of Capricorn. On top of that, as if that wasn't enough, Mars is currently retrograde in your sign. So the poor Geminis at this moment in time, you guys have been going through a little bit of some stuff, but you will be glad to know that Mercury goes direct, there you go, that's him doing his thing there. Mars is currently retrograde in your sign, but it goes direct on the 12th of January, right? So once that happens, you are going to start to feel your energy and your oomph and your clarity start to come back, and you will start to feel that sort of more smoother energy. All right, so and then as we get to the end of this week, there's only 3 days left until Mercury goes direct. So at this point, you know, by the time we get to the end of this week, I think you'll be feeling a lot more a lot stronger and a lot more powerful, but also a lot clearer on things as well. Now, that being said, the Sun card, and the reason I mentioned that is the Sun card, basically, it's not always that piles of money are falling from the sky or the best thing since sliced bread is going to happen to you. Sometimes the Sun card literally just is the universe's way of saying, I got you, I'm looking out for you, you're going to be all right. Okay, so before we start, as always, I think this is going to be a much easier week. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise. They help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your actions and options this week, you have the Justice card. Look at this, right? So it may not necessarily be that you're signing a contract this week, but it is definitely a partnership or a commitment that shows up for you this week that you absolutely know is going to be very good for you or very lucrative in some way, shape or form. I actually love this because it's kind of like, it's almost like, even with the retrograde going on and all the rest of it, it's like whatever is offered to you this week or whatever partnerships, etc. are forged this week, you know exactly what you're getting, right? What it says on the tin is literally what you're getting. And I love this. And the reason I say this as well, there are times where tarot will tell you about things regardless of what's going on with the planets. There's been times I've had, like, don't get me wrong, yes, astrology is very accurate most of the time. But I've had people say to me like, oh, you know, you really want to watch out for this transit that's coming up for you. And then I've experienced it and been like, yeah, don't know what all the fuss was about. That was actually great for me. So this is one of those weeks where, yes, whatever's going on with the astrology is one thing, but the tarot message for you this week is whatever that commitment is, whatever that partnership is, go for it. Because it's like literally what you see is what you get. What it says on the tin is exactly what you're getting. What I love most about this as well is your actions and options is the Justice card. So it's like whatever you're doing this week, it really is very fair, very upfront, very honest. So I'll be checking in with my Geminis to see what offers they've got. For your communications and conversations, you've got the 10 of Pentacles. You better come through with this money. I love it. All right. So sorry, I probably gave someone a heart attack that's wearing their headphones. My bad. The 10 of Pentacles for your communications and conversations. A lot of the conversations that you have this week are setting things up for further into the future. A lot of the conversations that you have this week are very much about career, about legacy, about what you're trying to do moving forward, about what you're trying to achieve in the long run. Now, you've got this underneath the Sun card. A lot of the conversations and commitments or partnerships that you're forging this week can be very lucrative for your future. Stay open to the possibilities this week, regardless of what the, you know, whatever else is going on is whatever else is going on. And there's always going to be something going on. Okay. Now, for those of you that are studying or in some form of academia, this could be money, finances, loans, bursaries, etc. that you didn't realize you had access to. It could just as easily be a gift from the family to kind of say, look, we know you're studying right now. We know money maybe necessarily isn't, you know, all students are broke eternally and hungry. Well, it was like that for me. I don't know about anybody else. But yeah, this could be a week for that. When it comes to those of you that are employed by somebody else, Yeah, okay. So what I will say to you is if you're employed by somebody else, this week you're going to spot an opportunity that you may be able to fulfill that nobody else can. And if that is the case, you really do need to think about the ways that you can get maximum bang for buck. What I mean by this is, you know, really this is a good week for you to highlight to your boss, this needs to be done. Nobody else here can do it, and but me, right? And so therefore I'm going to need some form of compensation for it. For those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, people that work for themselves, be open to the possibilities this week. And also when it comes to forging new partnerships and commitments, the one thing that you want to, like, yes, Mercury's retrograde, but the one characteristic that the best opportunities that come up for you are available is that they will have a long-reaching ripple. All right, what I mean by this is if someone says to you, oh yeah, you know, I just want to work with you for a few hours, it's probably not that. If someone says, you know what, I think we could do a series of this and this, or I think we could do this and this. If it's something that seems to have longevity behind it, that is the mark of yes, you want to be leaning into that. When it comes to those of you that are retired and no longer working, questions about legacy. Now, you know, although these are really bright, lovely cards, it's always morbid to kind of think about wills and all of that kind of stuff, but it does look like some of you are really getting it together in that sphere to say, okay, you know, I want to sort this stuff out now so that I can do the rest of the year, you know, kind of not on autopilot, but maybe on party mode, who knows. For your love and relations, you've got the Four of Pentacles. So there is a financial commitment being made this week, all right? There's no getting out of it, not with these. And what I mean when I say there's no getting out of it, this combination of cards, I would be remiss if I didn't say there's a financial contract that's being considered at some point over the course of this week. Now, the Four of Pentacles in terms of love and relationships, this is about stability and solidity. For those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments, this is you and your partner really gelling it, really meshing it to say, right, this is what we're going after. This is what we're doing. Potentially for some of you as well, you could be you could be crossing the streams. That's what is a Ghostbusters pun. Giant nerd here. But yeah, like it could be where you and your significant other say, okay, you know what, our work, our businesses, our whatever, they kind of intersect at this point, and you could be starting to realize, okay, this is something we might want to lean into, which is great. Again, it looks like there's some sort of contractual nature to this though. For those of you that are single, love this for meeting somebody or connecting to somebody either through your work or through a financial endeavor. So really nice. And, you know, again, we are just at the beginning of the year, so, you know, just allow it to unfold. For your money and materials, you've got the Seven of Swords. Okay, so it's a sucky card, but everything else suggests that finances, money moves made, money considerations are actually very good. That Seven of Swords can sometimes represent a self-illusory tendency. So this is where I want you to, like for this week, because there's so much brightness here, there's so much optimism, I don't want you to convince yourself that you can save the world, you know, do the washing up and have dinner on the table at 5 p.m. for the kids at the same time. All right, it's not going to be possible. All the moves can be made, but you are going to have to tweak some stuff and potentially sacrifice some more of your time. So you have to, like this week, I think is a prioritizing week where you're trying to say, okay, you know what? Yes, I want to do more of this with my family, but actually this needs to be done now. And so it's kind of like, what do I give up? What am I willing to sacrifice in order to have something, you know what I mean? It's like what you give now is going to ensure that you have much more later anyway. Another way that you could that this potentially might show up is something is revealed to you that had previously been hidden, and when it does, it kind of sees you say, okay, now I need to adjust my plans, my ideas, or what I'm going to do from here on in. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, the Seven of Swords is your systems, your nervous system in particular, so just look after that this week. And you know, with the Sun card, it's going to be a good week anyway. Remember, the Sun card, it diminishes your challenges, so I don't see this being such a big deal. Because you've got it here with the Ten of Pentacles, when it comes to the home and environment, I will say to you this. When it comes to home, give yourself a really solid amount of time to consider. Are you staying where you are, or do you know at some point over the course of this year, which I feel like is probably going to be a few of you, you're going to be ready to move on? That's going to determine whether you spend money on the home now or not. All right, with that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.